Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare.
Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shivasati Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasati Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchan Gorangi Radhe Vrindaneshwari Rishabhanum Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chev Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudire. Bolo Shri Radhe Govind Bhagwan ki
Jai.
Bolo SrimadBhagavatam ki
Jai.
Jai. Hare Krishna everyone.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Jai.
Hare Krishna.
And we have Ramanuji joined us. Krishna. So कल हम लोग
जनंता
हाँ रामानुजी बोलिए.
ओके कोई आप शुरू कीजिए.
हाँ नहीं कोई नहीं बोलिए.
ओके जनंता एव जनंतु.
ओ अच्छा हाँ एक मिनट शुरू करो. हाँ नहीं मैं ये बता रहा था कि ये जो 14th अध्याय हम लोगों ने शुरू किया है. सो 10th स्कंद का जैसे कि टोटल 12 स्कंद है उसमें से 10th स्कंद पर हम लोग हैं और 14th अध्याय पढ़ रहे हैं. 14th अध्याय में हम लोग पढ़ रहे थे कैसे ब्रह्मा जी लॉर्ड ब्रह्मा भगवान पुरुषोत्तम को पहचान जाते हैं भगवान कृष्ण को और भगवान कृष्ण की स्तुति कर रहे हैं. सो वो स्तुति हम पूरा पढ़ रहे थे. वेरी ब्लिसफुल glorification of Lord Shri Krishna or by none other than Lord Brahma himself. So it was really nice to see Lord Brahma describing and glorifying Lord Shri Krishna. That's what we are reading right now. And कल हम लोग श्लोक 38 पढ़ रहे थे actually. But let's read this again. Ramanuji. आप पढ़िए.
जनंता एव जनंतु किम वयुक्ता न मे प्रभो मनसा वपसु वच वैभवं तव गोचरः. There are people who say, I know everything about Krishna. Let them think that way. As far as I am concerned, I do not wish to speak very much about this matter. Oh my God, let me say this much. As far as your opulences are concerned, they are all beyond the reach of my mind, body, and words. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. And who is saying this?
Brahma, Lord Brahma.
Brahmaji, right? Brahmaji is saying this to Lord Shri Krishna. Right? He's saying that there are some people who says they know everything about Krishna. Jananta. Yeah? Jananta eva janantu kim bhukta na me prabhu. A lot of people say they know you. Right? Let them think that way. But as far as I am concerned, I do not wish to speak very much about this matter. All he is saying is manso vapuso vacho. Right? That is the mind, body, and vacho, vani. Vebhuvam tav gochara hai. As far as your opulences are concerned, they are all beyond the reach of my mind, body, and words. This is what Lord Brahma is saying. So I don't know who else will know more about Krishna than Lord Brahma himself. And he is saying that they are all beyond reach of my mind, body, and words. Yeah? So read the shlok 39, Anilji.
अनुजानीहि मां कृष्ण सर्वं त्वं वेत्सि सर्वत्रका त्वमेव जगतां नाथो जगदेतत्त्वार्पितम्. My dear Krishna, I now humbly request permission to leave. Actually, you are the knower and seer of all things. Indeed, you are the Lord of all the universes, and yet offer this one universe unto you. Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण है। फिर ब्रह्मा जी कह रहे हैं कि अनुजानी ही। Now he needs to go back to Brahmalok and he's saying, Tvam Vedsi Sarvadrika. Yeah, you are the knower and seer of all things, everything. And Tvamev Jagatam Natho. You are the Lord of all the universes. Yeah, and yet I offer this one universe unto you. He still orbits the universe he created. Brahmaji created this, of course, from Lord Shri Krishna to him. Nice purpose. So let's read this. Nisha.
In his Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Srila Prabhupada has quoted Lord Brahma as follows. My dear Lord, although you are the Supreme Lord of all creation, I sometimes falsely think that I am the master of the universe. I may the master of the universe, but there are innumerable universes and there are also innumerable Brahmas who preside over these universes. But actually, you are the master of them all. As the supersoul in everyone's heart, you know everything. Please, therefore, accept me as your surrender servant. I hope that you will excuse me for disturbing you in your pastime with your friends and cows. Now, if you only kindly allow me, I will immediately leave so you can enjoy your friends and calves without my presence. The word sarvam, tvama, vetsi, sarva, draka are very significant here. Lord Krishna knows everything and sees everything, and therefore Lord Brahma did not need to remain in Vrindavan to maintain his personal loving contact with the Lord. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah. So what Lord Brahmaji is saying is, you are the master of all the universes, right? As you are reading, there are innumerable number of universes. कारणोदक्षाय विष्णु के रुद्र रोम से, राइट, इतने सारे यूनिवर्सेस पैदा होते हैं और वो सब एक श्वास में चलते हैं, भगवान विष्णु की एक श्वास में. आवर यूनिवर्स इज वन यूनिवर्स, जस्ट वन यूनिवर्स. और कितने लोग हैं हमारे यूनिवर्स में? 14. या हमारे यूनिवर्स में 14 लोग. So just in our universe we have 14 logs. Topmost log is Brahmaji's log. That's where Lord Brahma resides. And like our universe, there are so many universes, is what is being mentioned. And Lord Krishna is the master of all the universes. Ajay?
Sir, I can't see the other screen. Oh, now I can. Don't worry.
Okay.
In fact, as the creator of the universe, Lord Brahma was somewhat out of place in the simple, blissful atmosphere of Vrindavan, where Lord Krishna was exhibiting his supreme opulence in herding cows, enjoying picnics, playing games, and so on. Upon seeing the intense love the residents of Vrindavan had for Lord Krishna, Brahma felt unqualified to remain there. He was not eager to give up Lord's association, but he felt it better to return to his personal devotional service in Brahmalok. Somewhat embarrassed and unhappy over his foolish attempt at bewildering the Lord, Brahma preferred to resume his transcendental loving service rather than try to enjoy the Lord's presence. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah? So Lord Brahma goes back to Brahma. Shiva Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Krishna Prabhuji. Shri Krishna Vrishni Kulpushkar Josh Dayana Shamanar Tuij Pashud Dhivrit Karini Udhar Masharvarahar Shitira
Sudhru Gakal Pakar Marhan Bhagavan Maste. My dear Sri Krishna, you bestow happiness upon the lotus-like Vrishni dynasty and expand the great oceans consisting of the earth, the demigods, the brahmanas, and the cows. You dispel the dense darkness of irreligion and oppose the demons who have appeared on this earth. O Supreme Personality of Godhead, as long as this universe exists, and as long as the sun shines, I will offer my obeisances unto you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah? So Lord Brahma, while living, is saying, Akra Maha. Akra is the Surya. So जब तक सूर्य शाइन हो रहा है, as long as the sun shines, Bhagwan, Namaste. I will offer my obeisances unto you. Yeah? Nice purpose. Anil?
According to Srila Sanatana Goswami, Lord Brahma is here engaged in the ecstasy of Nam Sankirtan, glorifying various holy names of Lord Krishna that indicate his variegated pastimes. Lord Krishna expertly suppressed the demoniac population of the earth, which became unbearable with the advent of demoniac politicians like Kans, Jarasandhu, and Shishupal. Similarly, in modern society, there are many so-called God-fearing people who are actually attracted to demoniac existence. Such persons become enlivened with the setting of the sun and go out in the darkness to enjoy life in restaurants, nightclubs, discotheques, hotels, and so on, which are all simply meant for illicit sex, intoxication, gambling, and meat eating. Then there are those who openly defy God and His laws, declaring themselves atheists and demons. Both the coward and the overt enemies of the Lord constitute an unholy burden for the earth. And Lord Krishna descends to expertly remove this burden. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Ramanuji?
Here, Lord Krishna indirectly states that Lord Brahma indirectly states that Lord Krishna should remove Brahma's own subtle atheism, which had led him to try to exert illusory power over Lord Krishna. According to Srila Vishwanatha Chakravarti Thakura, Lord Krishna in his Lord Brahma in his shame felt himself to be like Brahma Rakshasa from Satyaloka, who had come to the earth to disturb Lord Krishna and his inmate friends and cows. Brahma is lamenting that although Lord Krishna is most exalted, the Lord of all lords, because he had appeared before Brahma in such a simple and innocent feature, decorated with a stick, conch shell, ornaments, red clay, a peacock feather, and so on, and sporting with his coward boyfriends. Brahma dares to challenge him concerning Brahma's prayers, of which this verse is the conclusion. Brahma Vishwanatha Chakravarti Thakura states, may these prayers of Brahma, which take away all doubts and broadcast all the definitive conclusions of devotional service, become the expert of craftsmanship of the foundation of my consciousness. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Basically, we have read like how Lord Brahmaji glorifies and prays to Lord Shri Krishna, almost 30 to 40 shloks. Very, very blissful. Okay. Nisha?
श्रीशुक उवाच इत्यभीष्टूय भूमानं त्रिः परिक्रम्य पादयोः Natva bhishtam jagadhata swadhama pratyapadyat. Sukadeva Goswami said, having thus offered his prayers, Brahma circumambulated his worshipable Lord, the unlimited personality of Godhead, 3 times and then bowed down at his lotus feet. The appointed creator of the universe then returned to his own residence. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah? So Sukadeva Goswami is saying, and Sukadeva Goswami is saying to whom?
Parikshit Maharaj.
Parikshit Maharaj, right? SrimadBhagavatam is being recited by Sukadeva Goswami to Parikshit Maharaj. Of course, when he's reciting that, all the Devatas and big Rishi Munis are also present, right? But he is addressing Parikshit Maharaj's question. And he's of course saying, Lord Brahma, what did he do? Triya parikramya padiyo hai, right? He did the parikrama 3 times of the worshipable Lord, and then Svedham Pratyapadatya, he went back to his abode. Ajay?
Tatu anugyapya Bhagavan Swaprabhum Swabhuvam Pragvasthitan Vatsan Pulinamanye Yatha Purvasakham Swakam. After granting his son Brahma permission to leave, the Supreme Personality of Godhead took the cows who were still where they had been a year earlier, and brought them to river bank, where he had been taking his meal and where his cowherd boyfriends remained just as before. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah? So as we know the story, Lord Brahma had taken all the cows and calves and gwals and had hidden them in a gufa, and for almost a year, the solar year, almost a solar year when he came back. But then when he comes back, he finds that Lord Krishna has actually manifested himself exactly like those gwals and cows and everyone for 1 year almost, going back and forth. And then, of course, we also see how Lord Brahma sees the Chaturbhuj Roop in each and every of those manifested Lord Shri Krishna. And then he realizes he is none other than the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Shri Krishna. And then we read this whole blissful prayer. Yeah? And so now what happens is, then Lord Krishna brings all the calves and the gwals back to the river bank. Shiva Prabhu?
Yeah. Ek spinnapi yate abde pranesham chantaratmanah Krishna Maya Hata Rajan Shanardham Menira Bhaka. O king, although the boys had passed an entire year apart from the Lord of their very lives, they had been covered by Lord Krishna's illusory potency and thus considered that year merely half a moment. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah? As we know, like Krishna Bhagwan's Yog Maya was prevailing. And so even though they were there for a year, they just thought like something just happened, like you wake up from sleep and come back. Right? That's how all the calves and gwals fared. Kim Kim न विस्मरन्ति है माया मोहित चेतसः यन् मोहितं जगत् सर्वं वीक्षणं विस्मृतात्मकम्. What indeed is not forgotten by those whose minds are bewildered by the Lord's illusory potency? By that power of Maya, this entire universe remains in perpetual bewilderment. And in this atmosphere of forgetfulness, no one can understand his own identity. Yeah? So what is being mentioned, what Sukadeva Goswami is saying is that Yan Mohitam Jagat Sarvam Dikshanam, Vishmitatmakam. Like we forget who we are, right? As soon as we come into this world, we get conditioned soul, and then we forget who we are. Our real soul is forgotten. So that's what he's saying. Like who is not forgotten by, whose minds are not bewildered by this whole Maya. Yeah, kim kim na vishmaranti hai. Maya mohit chetsa hai. So it's easy that all the Gwal Bals just didn't know what happened for a year. That's very easy for Lord's Maya, is what is being mentioned. Yeah. Nice, Anilji.
It is clearly stated here that the entire universe is bewildered. Thus, even great demigods like Indra and Brahma are not exempt from the principle of forgetfulness. Since Lord Krishna exercised his internal illusory potency over his cowherd, boyfriends, and calves, it is not at all astonishing that for 1 year they could not remember their position. Indeed, by the Lord's external illusory potency, the conditional souls forget their existence not only for 1 year, but for many billions and billions of years, as they transmigrate throughout the kingdom of ignorance called the material world. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Isn't that true, right? Like us, who are conditioned souls, we don't know how many births we have taken in what forms and all that, right? We don't know how many years, billions maybe, right? And we have been going on and on and on through the cycle of birth and death and old age and disease. Hmm? Sure.
ऊचुश्च सुहृदः कृष्णं स्वागतं ते अतिरंहसा नेकोऽप्यभोजी कवल एहितः साधु भुज्यता. The cowherd boyfriend said no to Lord Krishna, "You have returned so quickly. We have not eaten even one morsel in your absence. Please come here and take your meal without distraction." Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Ramaji?
ततो हसन ऋषिकेशो भयवृत्या सहर्भक्तः दर्शोयांस कर्मज्ञग्रहं गरम न्यायो व्रताता वनवृजम्. Then Lord Rishikesha, smiling, finished his lunch in the company of his cowherd friends. While they were returning from the forest to their homes in Vraja, Lord Krishna showed the cowherd boys the skin of the dead serpent Aghasura.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, as you know, before Lord Brahmaji, we were reading about the story of Aghasur, right? How everyone went into the mouth of Aghasur, and then how Lord Krishna saved everyone and got him out, right? So that's what Lord Krishna showed. And then Lord Rishikesh. Who is Lord Rishikesh?
Sri Krishna, Bhagavan Krishna.
Sri Krishna Bhagavan, right? His another name is Rishikesh. Yeah. Ajay?
बह प्रसून वन धातु विचित्रतांग प्रोद्यमवेणुदल शंग रवोस्त्रका सत्वाढ्य वत्सान गृणन की त्रिपिक्त पवित्र कीर्ति गोपीर गुत्स वदृशे प्रविवेश गोष्ठम. Lord Krishna's transcendental body was decorated with peacock feathers and flowers and painted with forest minerals, and his bamboo flute loudly and festively resounded. As he called out to his calves by his names, his cowherd boyfriends purified the whole world by chanting his glories. Thus the Lord Krishna entered the cow pasture of his father, Nanda Maharaj, and the sight of his beauty at once produced a great festival for the eyes of all the cowherd women. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah? So they all come back to Vrindavan. Shiva Prabhu?
अवधानेन महाव्यालो यशोदानंद सुनुना हतो अविता वयम चास्मादिति बालाव्रजे जगुः. As the cowherd boys reached the village of Vraja, they sang, "Today Krishna saved us by killing a great serpent." Some of the boys described Krishna as the son of Yashoda and others as son of Nanda Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, what is mentioned is actually Lord Krishna had killed the demon Aghasur 1 year earlier. Right? As we know, 1 year they were all hidden. But the boys, bewildered by the mystic potency of Brahma for 1 year, did not notice the time passing and thus thought that on that very day Lord Krishna had killed the demon Aghasur and was now returning home with them. Yeah. Hare Krishna, Tarun.
Hare Krishna, Gajendra. Hare Krishna, everyone.
Hare Krishna.
Sri Rajovacha Brahman Parobhyave Krishne Iyane Prema Katham Bhavet Yo Bhuta Purvas Tokeshu Svodhaveshvapi Kadyatam. King Parikshit said, "O Brahmana, how could the cowherd woman have developed for Krishna, for someone else's son, such unprecedented pure love they never felt even for their own children? Please explain this." Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So what King Parikshit Maharaj is asking Sukdev Goswami ji, like all these gopis, they love Krishna more than their own son. Yeah. And the question from Parikshit Maharaj is, how is that possible? Why it is so? Why everyone is having so much love for Krishna? There is the question Parikshit Maharaj is asking. Shri Shukvacha Sarveshamapi Bhutanam Nipaswatameva Vallabha Itareya Patya Vityadhya Astadvalla Patiyevahi. Sri Sukdev Goswami said, O king, for every created being, the dearmost thing is certainly his own self. The dearness of everything else, children, wealth, and so on, is due only to the dearness of the self. What Sukdev Goswami is saying is anyone who is born, right, the eternal being has swatameva, swa-atmeva. He has love for his own self in general. Anilji?
तद्राजेन्द्र यथा स्नेह स्वस्वकात्मनि देहिनाम् न तथा ममताल लंबिपुत्र वित्तग्रहदिषु. For this reason, O best of kings, the embodied soul is self-centered. He is more attached to his own body and self than to his so-called possessions like children, wealth, and home. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Basically, what is mentioned is first, Katmani Dehinam. People love themselves even before their children and everyone else. Is what Sukdev Goswami is saying. Ramanuji?
Dehatma vadinam pumsam api rajanya sattama yatha deha priyatamas tata na he anuye chakam. Indeed, the persons who think the body is the self, O king, O best of the O best of kings, those things whose importance lies only in their relationship to the body are never as dear as the body itself. Hare Krishna.
Krishna.
देहो अपि ममता भाक् चेत्तर्हस्यो नात्मवत् प्रियः यज्जिर्यत्यपि देहेऽस्मिन् जीविताशा बलीयसी. If a person comes to the stage of considering the body mine instead of me, he will certainly not consider the body as dear as his own self. After all, even as the body is growing old and useless, one's desires to continue living remain strong. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, what Sukadeva Goswami is saying is even as we get old, right? Still, the desire to continue living always remains strong, right? Because everyone loves themselves. They consider the body as dear as his own self. Nice purpose. Let's read this, Ajay.
The word Mamata Bhak is very significant here. An ordinary foolish person thinks I am this body. A more discriminating intelligent person thinks this is my body. In the literature and folklore of ordinary people, we find that common theme of an old, dissipate person dreaming of obtaining a new young body. Thus, even ordinary person picks up the notion of self-realization instinctively, understanding that it is possible for the soul to exist in many different bodies. As the body of an intelligent person becomes old and useless, he strongly desires to live even when he knows that his body cannot live much longer. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Sure.
Yes, Prabhuji. This indicates he is gradually becoming aware that his self is more important than his body. Thus, simply the desire for life can indirectly bring one to a preliminary understanding of self-realization. And in this case as well, one's basic attachment is to one's own self and not to that which supposedly belongs to oneself. It may be pointed out that the entire discussion between King Parikshit and Sukadeva Goswami regarding the dearness of one's own self is ultimately meant for broaching the subject of why the cows and cowherd ladies of Vrindavan considered Krishna more dear than their own selves and certainly more dear than their offspring. The discussion proceeds as follows. Hare Krishna.
Hmm?
Tasmat priyatam swatma sarvesam api dehinam tad artham iva sakalam jagat etak characharam. Therefore, it is his own self that is most dear to every embodied living being. It is simply for the satisfaction of this self that the whole material creation of moving and non-moving entities exists. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So what Sukadeva Goswami is saying is that Priyatama Swatma. Everybody loves their own. Sarvesham api dehina. And he's saying because of that, because so that everyone has a satisfaction in understanding the self, simply for the satisfaction of this self, saying the entire material creation, Saklam Jagat Char Acharam, right? Creation of moving and non-moving entity exists. Why? For the satisfaction of this self, right? Hare Krishna, Rinaji.
Hare Krishna, भैया कृष्ण मेन मवेहि त्वमात्मानमखिलात्मनान् मनाम जगद्दिताय सोऽप्यत्र देहि वा भाति मायया. You should know Krishna to be the original soul of all living entities. For the benefit of the whole universe, he has, out of his causeless mercy, appeared as an ordinary human being. He has done this by the strength of his internal potency. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, so Lord Krishna appeared on the earth, right? He's saying that first of all, should know Krishna to be the original soul of all living entities. All of us have a soul which is connected to the super soul, yeah, which is the Kshirodakshaya Vishnu. Again, coming from Lord Shri Krishna, but that's a Kshirodakshaya Vishnu. It says, Tvam Atmanam Akhil Atmanam. Yeah, so Krishna Bhagwan is the super soul of everyone. And then he's saying he has appeared. Why he has appeared as a human being? Because of his causeless mercy. Yeah, because of his Karuna Sindhu, right? So that people can get benefit in this world by taking his name, by surrendering to him, by knowing how they can go back to the spiritual planet, right? He has done his causeless mercy. Out of that, he has appeared as a human being. What is mentioned? Anilji?
In the Chaitanya Charitamrita Modiya Leela, chapter 20, text 162, Srila Prabhupada comments on this verse as follows. Parikshit Maharaj asked Sukdev Goswami why Krishna was so beloved by the residents of Vrindavan, who loved him even more than their own offspring or life itself. At that time, Sukdev Goswami replied that everyone's Atma or such soul is very, very dear, especially to all living entities who have accepted material bodies. However, that Atma, the spirit soul, is part and parcel of Krishna. For the reason Krishna is very dear to every living entity. Everyone's body is very dear to oneself, and one wants to protect the body by all means, because within the body the soul is living. Due to the intimate relationship between the soul and the body is important and dear to everyone. Similarly, the soul being part and parcel of Krishna, the Supreme Lord, is very, very dear to all living entities. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare?
Unfortunately, the soul forgets his constitutional position and thinks he is only the body, Dehatma Buddhi. Thus, the soul is subjected to the rules and regulation of material nature. When a living entity, by his intelligence, reawakens his attraction for Krishna, he can understand that he is not the body but part and parcel of Krishna. Thus, filled with knowledge, he no longer labors under attachments to the body and everything related to the body. Jnanasaya moho yam aham mameti. Material existence where one thinks I am the body and this belongs to me is also illusory. One must redirect his attraction to Krishna. Srimad Bhagavatam 1.2.7 states, Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojita Janayati Asu Vairagyam Jnanam Cha Yad Hayatukulam. By rendering devotional service unto the personality of Godhead Sri Krishna, one immediately acquires causeless knowledge and detachment from the world. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. How? By the devotional service of Vasudeva. Vasudeva Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojita. By doing the surrender Bhakti Yoga to Lord Vasudeva, yeah, one immediately acquires causeless knowledge and detachment from the world. Nisha?
वस्तुतो जानता मत्र कृष्णं स्थास्नु चरिष्णु च भगवद्रूपमखिलं नान्यद् वस्त्विह किञ्चन. Those in this world who understand Lord Krishna as he is all, he is see all things, whether stationary or moving, as manifest forms of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Such enlightened persons recognize no real reality apart from the Supreme Lord Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. What is mentioned is people who have self-realized, have enlightened, they know that there is no other reality. Everything else is not real other than the self, soul, and the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. Give a nice purport, Ramanuji.
Everything exists within Lord Krishna, and Lord Krishna exists within everything. Still, the order of progression is always from the energetic to the expanded energy. Lord Krishna is the original identity from whom all the other identities emanate. He is the supreme energetic from whom all categories and dimensions of energy becomes manifest. Thus, our personal bodies, self, family, friends, nation, planet, universe, and so on are all manifestations of the Supreme Lord, who expands himself through his personal potencies. Lord Krishna is certainly the supreme object of our love and attractions, and other objects such as body, family, and home should be secondary objects of our affection. Moreover, a close analytic study of the actual situation will reveal that even the secondary objects of love are also manifestations of Lord Krishna. The conclusion is that Lord Krishna is our only friend and object of love. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Prabhu. Prabhu.
Yes. In his Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Srila Prabhupada comments on the verse as follows. Without being an expansion of Krishna, nothing can be attractive. Whatever is attractive within the cosmic manifestation is due to Krishna. Krishna is therefore the reservoir of all pleasure. The active principle of everything is Krishna. And highly elevated transcendentalists see everything in connection with him. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is stated that Mahabhagavat, a Mahabhagavat, a highly advanced devotee, sees Krishna as the active principle in all moving and non-moving living entities. Therefore, he sees everything within this cosmic manifestation in relation to Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Prabhu.
सर्वेषामपि वस्तूनां भावार्थो भवति स्थितः तस्यापि भगवान् कृष्ण किं तत् वस्तु रूप्यताम्. The original unmanifested form of Krishna, material nature is the source of all material things and the source of even that subtle material nature in the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. What then could one ascertain to separate from him? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. What is mentioned is Kim Tad Vastu Rupyatam. What is it which is separate than Sri Krishna is the question. Basically, what is being mentioned is that everything is manifested from Lord Sri Krishna, including the subtle material nature. Yeah. Tarun?
Samasritaye pada pallava plavam mahattam padam pushya yasho murare bhavamudrivar padam parapadam padam padam yad vipadam na tesham. Sorry, can you scroll up a little bit more? Thank you. For those who have accepted the boat of the lotus feet of the Lord, who is the shelter of the cosmic manifestation and is famous as Murari, then me of the Mura demon, the ocean of the material world is like the water contained in a calf's hoof print. Their goal is Parampadam Vaikuntha, the place where there are no material miseries, not the place where there is danger at every step. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, Bhav Ambu Vidhal Sat Padam Param Padam. That's the goal of the human life. Yeah, that's where they want to get and then get out of the Vipadam Natesham. We call this Vipda in materialistic world. They want to get out of that. Rinaji?
This translation is taken from Srila Prabhupada's commentary on the Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 2, text 51. According to Sridhar Swami, this verse summarizes the knowledge presented in this section of the Srimad Bhagavatam. Lord Krishna's lotus feet are described as pallav, flower buds, because they are most tender and of a pinkish hue. According to Srila Sanatan Goswami, the word pallav also indicates that Lord Krishna's lotus feet are just like desire trees, which can fulfill all the desires of the Lord's pure devotees. Even exalted devotees like Srila Narad, who are themselves the great shelter for the conditioned souls in this universe, personally take shelter of the lotus feet of Lord Sri Krishna. Thus, it is natural that when Lord Krishna manifested himself as all the young boys and calves of Vrindavan, their parents were more attracted to them than previously. Lord Krishna is the reservoir of all pleasure and being all attractive, the ultimate object of everyone's love. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Anilji?
एतत्ते सर्वमाख्यातं यत् पृष्टो आमिह त्वया तत्कौमारे हरिकृतं पोगण्डे परिकीर्तमम्. Since you inquired from me, I have fully described to you those activities of Lord Hari that were performed in his 5th year, but not celebrated until his 6th. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, so all these activities which we are reading so far, right? The Vadoputna and Adasur and a lot of other demons, right? And then Lord Brahmaji's darshan, all those are just still Lord Krishna is 5 years. Yeah. Nisha?
एतं सृहद्दिश्चरितं मुरारे नार्दनं शाद्वलजेमनं च रक्तेतरद् रूपं जोर्वभीष्टवं शृणौ गृणनेति नरोखिलार्थानि. Any person who hears or chants these pastimes Lord Murari performed with his cowherd friends, the killing of Aghasur, the taking of lunch on the forest grass, and the Lord's manifestation of transcendental form, and the wonderful prayers offered by Lord Brahma, is sure to achieve all his spiritual desires. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. What Sukdev Goswami is saying now is that anyone who is reading and hearing those pastimes, right, of like how Adasur was killed, right, and how Lord manifestation in transcendental forms giving darshan to Lord Brahmaji's, and then Lord wonderful prayers by the Brahmaji's, right? Shrinuvan Grinneti, one who is listening and reading those is sure to achieve all his spiritual desires. Yeah, will advance in the spiritual goals of one's life is what is mentioned. Yeah? Ramanuji?
According to Srila Sanatana Goswami, even one who is only inclined to hear and chant the pastimes of Lord Krishna will achieve spiritual perfection. Many devotees seriously engaged in propagating Krishna consciousness are often so busy that they cannot chant and hear the pastimes of the Lord to their full satisfaction. However, simply by their intense desire to always chant and hear about Lord Krishna, they will achieve spiritual perfection. Of course, as far as possible, one should actually vibrate these transcendental pastimes of the Lord. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah? That's the spiritual power, potency of the name of the Lord and the pastimes of the Lord. Ajay?
एवं बिहारे कौमारम जहत्तु व्रजे नीलायने सेतु बंधे धर्म बंधैर्मकटुप्लवनादिभिः. In this way, the boys spend their childhood in the land of Vrindavan, playing hide and go seek, building play bridges, jumping about like monkeys, and engaging in many other such games. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah. And then this ends the purpose of the humble servants of His divine. Thus ends the purpose of the humble servants of His divine grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, to the 10th canto, 14th chapter of the SrimadBhagavatam, entitled Brahmā's Prayers to Lord Krishna. Bolo SrimadBhagavatam ki
Jai.
And the next is chapter 15, where we'll be reading about the killing of Dhenuka. Yeah. And I think we'll pause here since it's about time. And we'll continue reading this next Monday, 9 p.m. And since we have been listening to Brahma Stuti, yeah, the Brahmaji's prayers in the Lord, in the Brahma Samhita, we have the final segment remaining. We have been hearing it from last 3 times. Final 6 to 7 minutes are remaining, so we'll hear that. Yeah.
कालस्तथात्ममनसीति जगत्त्रयाणि यस्माद्भवन्ति विभवन्ति विशन्ति यं च गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि. अग्नि, पृथ्वी, आकाश, जल, वायु, दिशाएं, काल, आत्मा एवं मन से युक्त तीनों लोग जिनसे उत्पन्न होते हैं, जिनमें स्थित रहते हैं और जिनमें प्रलय के समय प्रवेश कर जाते हैं, उन आदि पुरुष भगवान गोविंद का मैं भजन करता हूँ. यक्षुरेश सविता सकल ग्रहाणां राजा समस्त सुरमूर्तिरशेष तेजाः यस्याज्ञया भ्रमति संभृत काल चक्रो गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि. इस जगत के नेत्र रूप सूर्य, समस्त ग्रहों के अधिपति, सारे देवताओं के प्रतीक एवं अतिशय तेजस्वी होते हुए भी जिनकी आज्ञा से कालचक्र पर चढ़कर भ्रमण करते रहते हैं, उन आदि पुरुष भगवान गोविंद का मैं भजन करता हूँ. धर्मोऽथ पापनिचयः श्रुतयस्तपांसि ब्रह्मादिकीटपतगावधयश्च जीवाः यद्दत्तमात्रविभव प्रकटप्रभावा गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि. धर्म, पाप समूह, वेद, तपस्याएं और ब्रह्मा से लेकर कीट पतंग तक समस्त जीव जिनके द्वारा प्रदत्त शक्तियों से पालित होते हैं, उन आदि पुरुष भगवान गोविंद का मैं भजन करता हूँ. यस्मिन्द्रगोपमथवेन्द्रमहो स्वकर्मा बन्धानुरूपफलभाजनमातनोति कर्माणि निर्दहति किन्तु च भक्तिभाजा गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि। जो एक इंद्रगोप जैसे क्षुद्र कीड़े से लेकर देवराज इंद्र पर्यंत समस्त जीवों को उनके कर्म फलों के अनुरूप फल भोग कराते हैं, किंतु जो अपने भक्तों के समस्त कर्मों को सामूल नष्ट कर देते हैं, उन आदि पुरुष भगवान गोविंद का मैं भजन करता हूँ। यम क्रोध काम सहज प्रणयादि भीति वात्सल्य मोह गुरु गौरव सेव्य भावैः संचिन्त्य तस्य सदृशिं तनुमापुरेते गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि। क्रोध, काम, सहज स्नेह, भय, वात्सल्य, मोह, श्रद्धा तथा सेवा भाव से जिनका चिंतन करके साधक उन्हीं भावों के यथा योग्य रूपों को प्राप्त हो गए, उन आदि पुरुष भगवान गोविंद का मैं भजन करता हूँ। श्रियः कांता कांतः परम पुरुष कल्पतरवो द्रुमा भूमिश्चिंतामणि गणमयी तोयमृतम् कथा गानं नाट्यं गमनमपि वंशी प्रिय सखी चिदानन्दं ज्योतिः परमपि तदा स्वाद्यमपि च स यत्र क्षीराब्धि स्रवति सुरभिभ्यश्च सुमहा निमेषार्धाख्यो वा व्रजति न हि यत्रापि समयः भजे श्वेतद्वीपं तमहमिह गोलोकमिति यम् विदन्तस्ते सन्त क्षितिविरल चारा कतिपये। मैं उस श्वेत द्वीप नामक अप्राकृत धाम को भजता हूँ, जहाँ प्रेमिका लक्ष्मियाँ अपने शुद्ध भाव से परम पुरुष कृष्ण की अपने एकमात्र प्रेमी के रूप में सेवा करती हैं, जहाँ प्रत्येक वृक्ष कल्पतरु है, जहाँ की भूमि चिंतामणिमय है, सारा जल अमृत है, सारे शब्द गीत हैं, सारा गमन नृत्य है, वंशी ही जहाँ प्रिय सखी है, जहाँ की ज्योति चिदानंदमय एवं परम आस्वाद्य है, जहाँ अनगिनत सुरभि गायें चिन्मय महाक्षीर सागरों को प्रवाहित करती हैं, जहाँ चिन्मय काल का नित्य अस्तित्व, जिसमें भूत भविष्य नहीं होने के कारण अर्ध क्षण भी नहीं बीतता, और जो इस जगत में विरले भगवन निष्ठ संतों द्वारा ही गोलोक के रूप में जाना जाता है।
बोलो श्री राधे कृष्ण भगवान की
जय
Yay.
Jai.
So we complete the Brahma Samhita. We've been listening since last 4 times. It's like almost half an hour. It's very blissful stuti of Govind Bhagwan by Lord Sri Brahma. So that's it. Now we'll again see you on Monday, 9 p.m. And it's a nice Navratri time. So enjoy Navratri. Next week we'll hear Durga Stuti as well on Monday and Tuesday, because Navratri is up to Wednesday, I think, up to next Wednesday.
Yes.
Yeah, 10 days this time, so more auspicious days. So happy Navratri.
Happy Navratri.
Happy Navratri.
Hare Krishna, happy
Hare
Navratri.
Krishna,
Krishna,
everyone.
happy Navratri.